There's movies you watch, and there's movies you watch. The more you pay attention, the more Eyes Wide Shut sucks you into the atmosphere and story. The movie released in 1999, directed by the late Stanley Kubrick, who died 4 days after the first screening. But with that, let's begin. Before the video starts, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed. I want to get to 300 subscribers before the year ends. Dr. Bill Hayford and his wife, Alice, are going to a Christmas party, and first point I'd like to bring up is the lighting choice in this movie. It is truly wonderful. This party uses very white and yellow colors. This can be interpreted as happy feeling or a sign of wealth, like gold color. This section and many sections to come use lighting to show many emotions: fear, the feeling of the unknown, and lighting that feels like you're living in a dream. Now, enough of lighting, we will get back to this plenty. Eyes Wide Shut is a philosophical thriller, and it is a very uncomfortable movie to say the least. But it works because it draws us in because it feels so confusing as well. But we get to see how certain situations get brushed off. The host asks for Bill's help, and the situation is the host, or Victor, had a S relations with a girl, and she's in the midst of an OD. But the conclusion to this scene is Victor telling Bill that this little mishap, this thing, stays between him. It's early signs that people in the higher majority, will say, push things under the covers for the world in a way, and that's a big message of the whole movie. But at the same party, Bill meets an old college buddy, Nick, who is now a piano player. He will help jumpstart the conflict, but hold your horses. What actually jumpstarts the movie is Bill's wife Alice confesses to fantasizing of another man. And it's the start to Bill's spiral. He leaves the home and begins his own doom. And this whole sequence of Bill walking through a dreamlike version of New York, the way Kubrick shot this movie was amazing. To dick ride a little bit here, the way he directed it, it really feels like a dream. The actions Bill takes, from almost having S relations with a hooker to ending up conveniently at the bar Nick is playing at 2 a.m. Everything happening one after the other, it doesn't feel real. But the boys meet up and have an interesting conversation about the party Nick will be playing the piano at. And the choice in words, lighting, give the scene such a sense of wonder, but also a level of... it's an ominous intrigue. Now the good shit is coming. Nick gives Bill the password to get into the super secret party. At this party, they literally blindfold Nick so he can't see what's going on. And this level of mystery is what unfortunately gets our boy Bill, who obviously not thinking straight, goes off and buys a costume. As Nick stated, everyone wears masks and dark cloaks to hide themselves. But he gets a costume and is taxied to the party. Now this is when the movie peaks in disturbing and confusion. Obviously I can't show most of it because of YouTube, but what I can talk about is how these scenes will genuinely make you feel something. The lighting comes back in a big way in those golds and whites we talked about, but with the addition of a lot of red. Red normally meaning danger and anger, and the music adds an extreme level of uneasiness. And we see what appears to be a ritual. Before we get too deep, on a first-time watch, you may have it as an afterthought, but after you've seen the whole movie, you know that these people know the whole time. From the taxi to finding a receipt in his coat, to him not being hidden until he's already inside the house. He makes so many mistakes, yet they let him in. They let him stay. Why they chose to do so is unknown. And a lot of this movie leaves you asking these questions. And to an extent, I think for a movie to be great, it needs to have a level of wonder. But anyways, Bill gets a warning from one of the women at the party, and Bill of course doesn't listen, and sees many, let's just say, things. He's then kindly told his taxi is mad at the entrance and wants Bill to come outside. Oh, it's a trap. Well, shit. This is ominous. This scene is hands down the most chilling experience. Gold coloring is gone. It's red and black. Only color coming from the masks, who are all staring at you, while a slow yet angry melody plays in the background. Music never normally feels uneasy, but this piano is downright terrifying, and we get the best scene of the movie in my opinion. He gets confronted by everyone. He then also gets caught in a lie, but thankfully the woman he met, who warned him and told him to leave, then takes the blame and is taken away. We unfortunately won't see her again, alive that is. But he is told to leave, but the man in red leaves him with some advice.
But I warn you, if you make any further inquiries, or if you say a single word to anyone about what you have seen, there will be the most dire consequences for you and your family. Do you understand?
After that long night, Bill kinda goes to sleep, and we are brought to a brand new lighting. It is like nothing we've seen before. We're in the real world, it feels like, and the night we had really was just a dream. But now the movie dives into the realm of paranoia, Bill trying to find out if any of that was what it was. Starting with Nick, who is now missing, last seen by a hotel clerk. After finding out basically nothing, Bill decides to go back to the house, and that piano from before returns. That feeling of dread is back, only this time it's met with kind of peace. Bill is given a note, and it's just a second warning. Better than getting napped, in my opinion. Jump a bit and it's night again, but it's a bit different. It's a bit brighter in colors and there's more people out. Only problem, Bill seems to be getting followed. Bill gets away in a coffee shop but finds out about a beauty queen's death. And yes, it is the girl from the party. We find this out from who he thought was his buddy Victor, where he confronts Bill on what the hell was he thinking. But like, Bill had no fucking idea that was whatever that was. He had no idea what he was walking into. How is that his fault? But in these scenes, there's no music, it's just dialogue, and the lighting feels weirdly comforting. But the dialogue is the exact opposite. Victor even getting verbally angry, it's just a level of uneasiness in the room. It doesn't feel right. But yet, no music. After this whole thing happened with Victor, he decides to head home, and it starts the end of the movie. While he's home, we get a lot of blue coloring in these scenes, and Bill finds the mask he wore to the party, but he thought he lost it. So either his wife put it there, or someone placed it there. Either way, Bill confesses everything to his wife in an emotional moment that we actually don't get. But hey, we're brought to a toy store in the morning for good ol' happy-go-lucky Christmas. And some say the ending scene shows Bill's kid get taken away by two old men. Some people say otherwise, but we get sort of a sour ending either way, with the final convo being about Bill and Alice's relationship. But the final line is
something very important that we need to do as soon as possible.
What's that?
Fuck.
It just felt like a lackluster ending to me, but hey, that's Eyes Wide Shut, a film full of wonder and mystery in the plot, and outside of it. If you enjoyed the review and stayed this long, I really appreciate it. I would love it if you liked and subscribed. Stay tuned, baby! But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya!